Hey everyone, Eric here, and I want to come to you with a quick video about three-way calls. Okay, I've had a lot of questions on how can I get people on the three-way call because people are asking me about AdvoCare, and I start telling them about it, and then I tell them, hey, let's call my buddy on three-way, and I'm going to give you all the information, right? And then what happens? They shut down, right? At least they did when I use terms like that. They just kind of hit a red light, and it kind of creeps people out that you're going to get someone they don't even know on the phone. So how do we get them on the three-way call so that they get the information and the third-party credibility that comes from your upline, right? And I like to say upline because that person may not be your sponsor, okay? So I might write that down because that person may not be your sponsor. If your sponsor has only been with AdvoCare 2 or 3 weeks, that's probably not the person you want to use for a three-way call, right? So get very familiar with who your upline is, okay? And what their story is and things like that, because you're going to go through the Rolodex, which I will talk about, of people that you might want to use. So get very familiar with your upline because it may not be your sponsor on who you're going to ultimately want for that three-way call because they may be near as new as you. Okay, so someone asks you about AdvoCare. You're walking around in your colors, and someone asks you, hey, what is AdvoCare? Or your friend asks you, I've seen all the posts, and I just want to know what it is. So that seems like a simple question to answer, right? And the first thing you want to do is answer all their questions and Advo dump all over them, tell them we got Spark, we got this, we got that, and it just doesn't make any sense because they're listening to you talk and they have no idea what you're talking about, right? So I have a system that I like to use and some of my downline uses that I want to pass on to you, and it seems to work pretty well. Number one is I answer as little as possible. Number one, keep it simple, 3 steps. I answer as little as possible. The only answer I provide is, you know what? There's a couple different options. When can I call you and tell you about it? When can I call you and tell you about it? I never say, when can me and my sponsor call you and tell you about it? Or when can me and my upline call and tell you about it? Because that's going to creep them out. They don't understand what that means. At no point are you going to tell your friend Bill, hey, Bill, you're my prospect. He's going to say, what is a prospect and why are you calling that? So I don't use those terms. I said, when can I call you to explain this to you? More times than not, they're going to give you a time. So, let's say they say 5 p.m., my buddy Bill wants to talk at 5 p.m. That's not a problem. Okay, notice, I always call my upline first. I never mention my upline, okay? I never tell them about Jeremy. Okay, that's going to make them feel like this is something weird, okay? And that's okay. When can I call you? I'm asking when I'm going to be able to call. I don't mention anybody else. So what I do is I like to call my upline about 5 minutes before a call after I've already set up the appointment with them. Don't call them 5 minutes and expect them to be ready. But after I've already set up the appointment, if it's a 5 p.m. appointment, I call them at 4:55, and I just tell them about who we're calling. I tell them about the prospect, tell them what they do. I tell them what they're looking for. I go through all the information that I know about them. And what they're going to do if they're anything like me, they're going to start going through their Rolodex of stories that they've heard, whether it be at Success School, which you should all be going to, or a mixer or some kind of training call. They're going to go through that and they're going to pick one that resonates with what they think they know about that person. Okay? So I call 5 minutes beforehand, and I tell them all about my prospect and let them start going through that Rolodex to find the perfect story for them, okay? So I've done that step. I've answered as little as possible. I've called my upline first, and I have not yet, to my prospect Bill, mentioned my upline. Okay, so what do I do then? I have my upline on the phone. I dial three-way to my prospect, and I call Bill, okay? Bill answers the phone. The very first thing I do, hey, Bill, just so you know, I got my friend Jeremy on the phone. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have, and I just want to make sure that you get all your questions answered. So I'm going to leave it to him and let him get you all the information you're looking for. What do I do after that? I stop talking. I don't say another word. I've done the introduction. I've said hike. I've taken the football, and I've handed it off to Jeremy to run a touchdown. Okay? Write that part down. I've taken the football, and I've handed it to my upline, Jeremy, to run and score a touchdown. I'm not going to say anything else after that unless Jeremy asks me to. Okay? Jeremy now is going to ask questions. He's going to talk to the person. He's probably not going to mention AdvoCare until he knows exactly what the person is looking for. Because as he's asking, where do you work? What do you do? How many kids do you have? He's going to be going through a Rolodex of stories, right? The Rolodex of stories to find that one that resonates with them, okay? So, real quick 3 steps to getting people on a 3-way call. Answer as little as possible. When can I call you and go over your options with you, okay? And I never mentioned my upline, right? So, answer as little as possible. Call upline first, okay? And then introduce them right away. Hey, I have my friend Jeremy on the phone right now. He's been doing this a lot longer, and he's going to be able to answer all your questions, okay? And then step 3, the most important step, stop talking. Let your upline take that football and score you a touchdown. You follow those 3 easy steps, and I guarantee you're going to get a lot of successful 3-way calls. You're going to get a lot of touchdowns, and we're going to get you a lot of wins, okay? More videos to come, and as always, thank you, Jeremy. Let's get to work.